So, you want to know the tea? Okay, how stupid was that? Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Jenna. I film a lot of productivity, lifestyle, bullet journal videos and vlogs, so if you want to hit subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. So I have a cup of tea with me this morning because I'm going to spill my tea and tell you guys what my first YouTube paycheck was. Okay, first of all, this jasmine green tea, so good. I'm just gonna spit out everything that I can and tell you guys everything that I've learned, everything that I've observed, my YouTube timeline, how I got monetized, how long it took me, all that stuff. I asked you guys on my community tab if you wanted me to wait until I got my first YouTube paycheck or if you just wanted my tips now, and you guys want to know how much money I made. So if you guys want to know my YouTube journey, how I gained 1,000 subscribers in less than 6 months, how I gained monetization in less than 6 months, and how much YouTube paid me in my first month of being monetized, then let's just go ahead and get started. First off, before I mention anything, I really just want to disclaim that I am a very small channel. I am in no way trying to say that I have the answers to anything, and there are a lot more YouTube channels that are so much bigger than mine out there. But in a way, I thought it would be more helpful for you guys to get some tips and observations and things coming from a small channel that just reached monetization. So I think sometimes it's a little hard to relate to tips coming from somebody that already has like 1 million subscribers. So I just want to give you guys my journey and my experience and things that I've found have helped me along the way. Maybe they'll help you, maybe they won't, but either way, I just want to share my journey with you guys. So first off, let's talk about my overall YouTube journey and timeline, just to give you guys an idea of how long it took me to reach monetization, how long it took me to reach 1,000 subscribers, and all those things. So I have a separate Google Sheet on my computer where I've just been tracking my statistics at the end of each month, just because, I don't know, I'm a data nerd, so I thought it would be interesting to track just my progress throughout each month that I've started my channel. I made my very first YouTube video on October 27th of 2020. Okay, I decided to make my channel after my birthday, or like around the time of my birthday, because my birthday is October 10th and I was turning 24. We were in the middle of the pandemic and I just decided, I'm sure like a lot of others, let's just go for it. So I started my channel at the end of October. I'm just gonna go through my subscriber count for each month that I had my channel. So at the end of October, I had 76 subscribers. At the end of November, my second month, I had 182 subscribers. At the end of December 2020, I had 319 subscribers. So in my first 3 months, I only had 319 subscribers. And then in January, I had 534 at the end of the month. February, 864 at the end of the month. And then at the end of March, so at the end of my 5th whole month, I had 1,775 subscribers, and it's April 29th, so since it's nearly the end of the month, I will just go ahead and tell you guys my current subscriber count, which is 2,528, which is just, okay, first of all, I love you guys. If you've been watching my videos in just 6 months, I just can't believe how much we've grown our community. I really didn't expect it, and first off, I really just want to say thank you, and I love you guys. But so that's my timeline. I reached 1,000 subscribers on March 6th. So I actually reached it in the very beginning of my 5th month. If you guys don't know, to reach monetization, you need to reach 2 different milestones, and one is 1,000 subscribers and the other is 4,000 public watch hours, which means 240,000 minutes of people watching your videos. And you would think that the 1,000 subscribers is harder than the watch hours. I think you just don't realize how long and how much 4,000 hours is. So it was a pretty, you know, it took 5 months to do that. But I did find that once I reached 1,000 subscribers, my watch hours kind of shot up with that as well. So I was able to reach monetization on March 19th. So around a week and a half later is when I was able to reach the 4,000 public watch hours. And I do remember that when I did reach the 1,000 subscribers, I only had 2,550 public watch hours. So I was only around like 55% of the way there in terms of my watch hours to reach monetization, but I did find that once I reached that 1,000, I don't know what happened, but my watch hours kind of shot up after that. So it only took a week and a half after my 1,000 subscriber milestone to reach the full 4,000 hours of public watch time. So after you reach monetization, you don't just automatically get monetized, you have to apply to the YouTube Partner Program. So I applied, I think around 2 days later, because I wasn't home when I got monetized and I didn't have a laptop with me. So I believe I applied to the YouTube Partner Program on March 21st. And then 2 days later, on March 23rd, is when I was approved. So from the point that I reached my very first milestone in order to be monetized all the way until I was approved, it took around 17 days. So that's my YouTube timeline. I know that there are so many channels that end up having a viral video, and then once you have one viral video, you basically reach all of your milestones right there. But that didn't happen for me. I think I had a slower burn, but it was faster than some. That's kind of how I like to think of it. I did have a couple of videos that kind of took off for my channel, but I never went viral, so I think I just did the best that I could to reach monetization. And I also want to mention that being monetized isn't necessarily, it was definitely a goal of mine. It's, you know, it would be amazing to make some side money off of your YouTube channel, but the very first tip that I have above anything at all is that it can't be the reason that you want to make videos. So I think that your audience will see if all you want to do is make money from your videos and you don't really want to connect with the people that you're making videos for. So that's the very first thing. I don't want to come off as like I only made my YouTube channel to make money off of it, because in the end I made my YouTube channel because I thought that I would like making videos, and I do. Because in the end you have to make your YouTube channel for something other than a monetary reason. It would be amazing if one day you were able to make a job from it, or if that's a big goal of yours, but the intent with your YouTube channel always has to come from a good place at heart. And for me, I just wanted to have a community online, and I wanted to share my life with you guys, and I wanted to create more value and inspiration into your life. So yeah, that's just another disclaimer. You have to have your YouTube channel for some other reason other than just wanting to make money. So monetization was definitely a goal of mine, but it wasn't overall necessarily the reason that I made my channel. Okay, what's next? So next I want to get into some tips and observations. Again, I'm really not that qualified to give them, but this is just stuff that I found helpful as I was reaching and getting closer and closer to being monetized. If you guys don't know, I'm sure you do, but there are people that make YouTube channels specifically to help you grow as a YouTube channel. The two people that I religiously watch in terms of YouTube tips are Catherine Manning and Annie Dubé. And then there's the third one that I just found that I like really love lately. What's her name? Oh, Jessica Stansberry. Those three people I would definitely recommend if you want to learn more about the algorithm, just learn more like professional tips. This is really just like me sharing my experience, but those three YouTube channels I found really, really helpful. The first thing that I did, and the first tip that I have, is really just spend the time learning about the YouTube algorithm and spend the time learning about how you can even get your video out there to more people in the first place. So watching those channels, I would just put those channels on. Sometimes I would put those channels on in the background and just listen as I was working to kind of like consume their content and consume their value. But other days I straight up watched their videos and took notes because I wanted to learn their YouTube algorithm and I wanted to learn how it worked. So definitely just trying to educate yourself through those YouTube channels is the very first tip that I would say. The second thing is that hopefully if you're starting a YouTube channel, you're already somebody that is a YouTube consumer. So I've been watching YouTube as like my pastime. I always say that YouTube is like my TV, and I've been doing that since like high school. I remember when I first made my channel, I would go to my favorite YouTubers, I would watch their recent videos, and I would literally take notes on logistically how they made each video. So if there was an intro, if there were scene cuts, if there was music in the background for a certain portion of the video, would just straight up watch their videos and take notes, because there are people that already make YouTube videos as their full-time job. So obviously if they're already making it their job, they're doing something right. So I would take notes on the logistics of their video, and then I would overall just take notes on what I liked about the video, what kept me watching the video, and what I felt made that video successful. So I guess you would call this like market research with your channel. You want to do your work beforehand and educate yourself on the algorithm and just kind of take notes on your favorite YouTubers and why you think you love them. This might sound silly, but I think just overall cohesion of your channel is something that's really important. So I'm trying to think of how to say this, but I think you want your channel to be as inviting and clear as possible to somebody that is just lucky enough to stumble upon your channel as a small account. So that usually means cohesion in your thumbnails, making sure each thumbnail kind of more or less looks not the same, but they all work together well, and it's very clear what that video is when you just look at the thumbnail. So cohesion in your channel with your thumbnails and cohesion in your channel with your content too. This is something really that I would take with a grain of salt, because when you're first starting out your channel, you want to experiment with different types of niches. And when I say niche, you know, the channel's brand, like I think each channel has their own brand and they're in a certain niche of YouTube. So there's like tech YouTubers, lifestyle YouTubers, people that only do like college content, people that make YouTube tip videos, and food content creators. There's just so many niches in the YouTube world. It's crazy. When you're first starting out your channel, don't be afraid to try out different niches in the beginning, but once you feel like you've found your best interest in your niche, when you find that some videos are doing better than others within a certain niche and you kind of want to continue on with that, then as you make more videos, your channel's brand will only become clearer and clearer. Take that time in the beginning to decide and explore what your channel's niche should be and wants to be. I always kind of think that you guys chose my niche for me. My very first work from home vlog was in December, and I did that for Vlogmas just because I thought it would be fun, but I made my channel in October. So I don't know, just don't be afraid to experiment, but once you do feel like you've found an identity for your brand and your channel, then just kind of roll with that. As long as you like it. You have to like the videos that you're making. I think thumbnails are honestly so important, because when you're searching a video that you want to watch in the YouTube search engine, the reason that somebody will click on your video is most likely because of the thumbnail. So I think overall you want to pay close attention to your thumbnails, and when you're making your thumbnail, you want to ask yourself, is somebody going to look at that thumbnail amongst all the other thumbnails out there and click on my video? Because that's the goal in the end, right? If you're a small channel, you're like in the sea of YouTube search results, and it's hard to be noticed when you're small. So I think just spending a lot of time on your thumbnail and your title, that's another thing too. So next I want to talk about overall value of your videos and your content. Something that I think hopefully helped me was that in each video that I made, I would ask myself, what is the value of this video? What is somebody going to get from watching my video? I think this is honestly something for me that I could have taken into more consideration, because in the beginning, when you're just starting your channel and not many people really have found you yet, you have to remember that, for lack of a better term, no one cares about you just yet. So for me, I told myself that the value in my videos in the very, very beginning, when I had less than 300 subscribers, was productivity. And I would show my bullet journal and show that you can check stuff off your list throughout the day, and the value would be like having a productive day. But I honestly think that reflecting back, it didn't work as well and as quick as I thought it was going to, because I didn't really take into account that not many people knew me at all. So why would they care about my complete day, if that makes sense? A portion of that is honestly something that's just going to come naturally. The more videos that you make, hopefully people will want to return. Even if it's just 2 people wanting to return, that will slowly grow. Don't be discouraged if you're having slow growth. 1 person as a small channel is growth to me. Don't let the numbers get to you too much, but just consider the overall value of basically a complete stranger when you're making your videos. Titles are also so much more important than you think. You want to make your title as clear as possible in terms of what that video is about, so that when someone clicks on your thumbnail and reads the title, they kind of know what to expect when they're watching your video. Titles are tricky though. You want it to outline and summarize your content, but you also want the words in your title to be searchable. And this is not really all the time. Okay, you guys, like, I really just have to say, in the end, really just do whatever you want, because there's no clear answer for any of this, but this is just stuff that I have found helpful for me. When I put searchable keywords in my title, I think naturally, since YouTube is a search engine that literally exists through data and an algorithm, then you kind of want to be strategic about what you're titling your videos, because if you're just titling your videos easy meal ideas, think about, or even just productive vlog, workout, eating at home, something something, as a small channel, that's just gonna get buried with all of the larger channels that people do care when they read those very generic titles. So titles are always tricky, I think, just as a small channel, because I think they start to matter a little bit less as you continue to grow, because now people feel connected to you and it's not really the search part of your growth that you're focused on. Maybe, I don't know, but I just found that the videos that did take off for me were the ones that did have searchable terms in the title as a small channel. So for me, it was a work from home desk setup tour. That like did so much better than I could have ever. I think that's my best video on my channel. And then actually the very first video on my channel that ever got over 1,000 views was an Abercrombie try-on haul. So take all of this as you will. I feel like I'm not explaining it very well, just because obviously there's so many people that are searching Abercrombie try-on haul, but as you're making your channel and as you're making more videos, mix it up between personal content and content that relates to who you are as a creator and content that is simply just searchable, because I feel like that was a really long way of saying basically just mix up between content relating to who you are as a channel and as a person, as a creator, and also content that is searchable, because as a small channel, no one's really searching who you are. They're searching a video that they find and then they like you and then they want to watch a second video after that. I really hope that made sense. Also, I'm going to look at my current analytics right now, but I just want to give you guys overall a general idea of the content that has done the best for me in terms of views. Just, I don't know, just if you're curious. Right now on April 29th, as I have 2,500 subscribers, my top videos are work from home desk setup tour that has 17,000 views now, which is like insane. My very first work from home day in the life that I did in Vlogmas that I mentioned, that now has 13,000 views. And then after that, we have a good handful of videos that got in between 1,000 and 4,000 views. My morning routine, which was like my third video that I ever made, that has 4.5k views. How to use a clamp curling iron, that video, you guys, that video was a video that I made with the intent of like, okay, maybe one day this will help my channel and take off, but that video like was one of the worst videos that I had done in terms of views. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry if you can hear that. The how to use a clamp curling iron, that video did not do very well in the beginning, just in terms of views. Like nobody really watched it, but I held out because I thought that that's like something that's searchable at any time of the year, no matter what. People always want to learn how to curl their hair, so that's just like an example of a video that eventually took off. Now it has 4,100 views. It's my top 4 video in my channel, and it's because it was searchable and people were searching it randomly, and I think just eventually the YouTube algorithm picked it up. And then after that, I have my Set Active collection, which has 3,900 views. Again, just like very searchable things. People want to search Set Active and they want to know if it's worth it. And for me, they want to know how much stuff I have. And then my Abercrombie haul that I mentioned, that now has 2,900 views. So, and yeah, this was really just my experience and my journey, but I think people found my channel through searching something and then they wanted to watch a second video, so then they stumbled upon my vlogs after that, because I love vlogs at the end of the day. So take all of that as you will. Do a mixture of searchable stuff and vlogs, because also just switch it up. It's fun. It's fun to challenge yourself, and that was a really long way of saying the same thing again, but that's just an overall view of like my top 5 or 6 videos on my channel as of right now. My last like note or observation about the actual content of your video is editing. Editing is something that I honestly fell in love with, and I love editing videos. It literally, like, I could spend so many hours on it, but I would just be smiling the whole time because I love editing videos. But when you're watching YouTube videos of people that you do like, I would definitely take notes on how they're editing, like how clean are the cuts, how often are they leaving in long pauses, or are they cutting them out, and how many of them are they cutting out. Music in the background, I personally think it's helpful to switch up the song as you use music in the background, and maybe just have the same song in like 2 different clips, or else if you just listen to the same song over and over again in one video, you kind of get bored and then you want to click away, stuff like that. So just find the editing style that works for you. Do you like to add texts? Do you like to add music at all, or not? Do you want to have a more like rough, unedited style of editing? Definitely play around with your editing style, but I will say don't be afraid to spend a lot of hours on it, and it probably will take a lot of time to edit a video because it takes a lot longer than you guys think. But the more that you do it, the better you'll get, and editing is always something that will improve with your YouTube growth no matter what. And then with editing, the frequency of your videos, I totally forgot about this, but how often you're uploading on YouTube. I know everyone says to stay consistent and all that, and of course that's true, but I just personally found it helpful for me when I was uploading 3 times a week, because I think 3 is a little hard if you want to get a lot of sleep, but maybe just try 2 videos a week. And just think of it like this. I think Annie Long said this in a video that she made, but if you're posting 1 video a week, that's 52 times that you're giving the YouTube algorithm something. But if you upload twice a week, that's literally double the time, 104 times that you're giving the YouTube algorithm a chance for your channel. And then if you upload 3 times a week, then that's 156 chances that you're giving the YouTube algorithm to put your channel out there. So just kind of look at it like that. Of course, stay consistent, but really be mindful of what potential your channel has if you're uploading more often, because I know quality is better than quantity, but in the case that you want to grow your channel, the quantity of your videos definitely does matter too. Hate to say it, but it really does. Oh, if you have vlogs, I love watching intros. This is something that you can make personal to you, and you don't have to do them at all, but coming from a consumer of videos too, I love watching intros to especially vlogs, because it's something that's like non-searchable. Vlogs are really just a peek of who you are and what your life is. So if you add an intro and you kind of like hook the person in the very beginning of what they'll get if they watch the entire video, then I think that can only help you. So don't be afraid to experiment with the use of intros in your vlogs. The last thing also I'll say is the gear. So I use a Sony ZV-1 vlog camera for making the video that you're watching right now. You can use your phone, absolutely, but that was like a barrier to me. I was like making excuses not to make my channel because I didn't want to have videos on my phone mixed with like my personal photos and stuff. So for me, I got the Sony ZV-1 because, I don't know, I just felt like if I was going to invest in myself and the channel, then I just needed to go ahead and do the camera purchase like right away. And then to edit, I use my iPad Pro and the app Final Cut Pro, which is only $30. So maybe I'll make a video about that separately, but in terms of gear, that's what I ended up using and choosing for my YouTube channel in the beginning. I think that was everything that I wanted to cover. Is there anything that I'm forgetting? Yes, I did forget one thing, and it's literally the middle of the day, and I'm realizing now that I probably forgot the most important tip, and it's really just to engage with each other and engage with other people in the community. I think my favorite part about starting a YouTube channel was friendships that I've been able to make through having a channel. So even just virtually, all of the people that I've met through YouTube, by engaging with their content, talking to them, eventually getting their numbers and hanging out with them, just the online community. You're not just creating a community for yourself, but you want to be a part of other people's communities too. There were days that I was able to gain like 50 subscribers in one day because Carter, my friend on YouTube, who was somebody that actually inspired me to make my own channel, she would shout me out in her videos because she was just being a good friend. And Julia, who has shouted me out in her videos before. It's just crazy at all that anybody really that I watches my videos. All in all, just create a community for yourself, but also be a part of other people's communities too. I think engagement in general is a two-way street. You want people to engage with you, but you should engage with other people too and make friends online. Okay, that was seriously the last thing that I forgot. I think that's it for all of my tips. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and give you guys what you really wanted to see. So how much did YouTube pay me in my first month of being monetized? I will say that in terms of the monetization part of it, YouTube pays you for the previous month on that day. So I got paid on April 21st for the month of March. And since I got monetized at the end of March, I honestly didn't think I would reach the $100 threshold because you have to have at least $100 in ad revenue to get a payout at all. So I didn't think that I was going to. I got approved on March 23rd, and I'm so grateful for you guys because you guys watch my ads, which is why I was able to get a YouTube payout in literally 7 days. But overall, my first YouTube paycheck was $121.46. So that's what I made in the month of March, which is literally crazy. I love you guys so much because I'm just so grateful for you for watching my ads at all, because I don't know. I just don't know what I did to deserve you guys, but I love you guys so much. And there's my tea spilled. I'm like almost out of my actual tea, but there's my tea spilled if you wanted to know. Okay guys, I think that's it for today's video. I hope you guys had fun watching this. Honestly, I talked way too long and I rambled a lot, but I hope overall you were able to get some good tips and observations coming from a small channel that just got monetized. I hope you got something helpful from this, and let me know in the comments below if you have any other questions relating to like YouTube growth for me. Everything is different for every channel, so take everything that I say with a grain of salt. It's 8 o'clock now, so I actually have to start my real job because my real job is working in consulting, and you guys know that. But make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video, but until then, I miss you already.